Obadiah 1, verse 16. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Ka'alam la Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Hakodash Rakah, Dwadi Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Kaha, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the hopeful elect, elder, apostles, slave to be saved, Lord willing, starting with those at the Great Millstone Church, on down to the rest that may be abiding out here under the same doctrine. Much peace and many blessings to the rest of the brothers teaching this truth in all true faith and sincerity, and much peace and many blessings to the rest of the believers out here, the men, women, and children, and on this faith of the Israelite race, the so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom to the elect and 1/3, and those that will be found, that will go on to be found to have been of the house of David. So yeah, this is another quick lesson. This is a lesson pretty much titled, the sudden death of America. And pretty much, when you think of a sudden death, is out of nowhere. It's like something had basically is of a person basically dropping dead as if they was never alive, man. As if it was here and but it went on to, perish as if it had never been here, and that's pretty much what the Lord is revealing to us, by the Spirit, okay, that's going to be the situation with America. And that's what's taking place right before our eyes. You look up and you see everything that once was going on and just outright changing as if these very things that once were, never were. And that's because you're seeing the sudden death that's being prophesied, playing out right before your eyes. Everyone's getting the news, the sudden death of America, man. You see what I'm saying? So, once again, Obadiah 1:16, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. And this ultimately, is dealing with Esau, his wickedness he's perpetuated, throughout the earth upon the nation of Israel, the so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, with company, and the company being the other non-Israelite nations. Okay, but Esau, he has done that, through America. You see what I'm saying? And that's the body, that's the death you actually seeing, before pretty much that's the body that's here, that was clearly here, but it's completely suddenly dissipating right before our eyes, man. You see what I'm saying? So really, this is talking about America. Okay, so Revelation 18:8, therefore shall her, see, therefore shall her, now is it dealing with an actual woman? No, it's dealing with America, but America is likened unto a woman, and a woman has a body, man. You see what I'm saying? So it says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day. This the reasoning for the sudden death that's pretty much being said to be, played out through the heathen, going on to be as though they have never been, chiefly Esau. But with that being the case, America will have to follow suit. You will really see that in the form of America, man. Esau going on to be as though he had never been will be only by getting rid of America, man. Because this is what has him being right now. You see? So it says, therefore, and the reason why is because once again, all the wickedness. So once again, he has perpetuated, but it go back to America. So it says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day. You see, suddenness. It says death. See, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For the strong is the Lord Yahweh, the Most High, the power who judges her. You see? So once again, therefore shall her plagues come in one day. See that? One day. That's like a sudden death. You hear you was just good, you know, for however long, for centuries. And just in one day, one time period, you just like nothing. You see that? That's the sudden death of America. Lord, is this place is gonna be as though it had not been, and we seeing it right before our eyes, man. You see, you was once, you know, a so-called citizen or 3/5 of a human for us Israelites, right? Walking around in America with no mask, never experiencing nothing like that. That was once a thing, to never, to have that be the case, and then that has completely went away. You see what I'm saying? You never had to take, one, two, three, four, four jump shots for some diseases on the loose. You never, had to continuously the old norm used to know, go to so-called your so-called work job or whatever plantation to constantly get, for those experience that have experienced it, tested weekly. You see what I'm saying? That's the old life pretty much that you once knew, pretty much just perishing, and it was suddenly. You see what I'm saying? That old life you once knew that was just here for so long, gone now. And that's a sudden death, and that's going on in America, and that's a sudden death, man. That's sudden death. The sudden death, man. See that? But anyway, Psalms 37 and 10, and that's proof that that's the sudden death. Uh, we are seeing the sudden death of America. Psalms 37 and 10, and ultimately Esau, but for yet a little while, and the wicked shall be, yeah, Salakia, for yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. See? Yeah, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be found. Ultimately, the end all be all is going to be completely gone. But we're seeing a sudden death happen right before our eyes. See that? Which is what through America, Second Esdras 5 and 3. And the land, you see, that thou seest now to have root, shalt thou see wasted suddenly. See? So that land is dealing with America. It was, completely set up going on things in certain institutions where, you would never thought, the colleges were shut down. You would have never thought the schooling system was shut down. You would never thought, you would see the collapse of you know, the Republican and the Democratic Party, the system of Esau right before your eyes. But because at a point in time you wasn't seeing this in the fashion we're seeing it now. But now we're seeing it, all that time of these colleges just going, then boom, like that, they shut down. Sudden death, man. You know, and that's just proof we're seeing the sudden death of America. You see? So everything being uprooted. Okay. So it says, Second Esdras 5 and 3, in the land that thou seest now to have root, shalt thou see wasted, suddenly wasted. All that time, all this going on, all that setup, all that investment. I seen guys, at the plant, the plant, with 501, what is it, 401k or whatever it is. I forgot what it is, but for 10, 20 years, that thousands put up, hundreds, put up, you know, in the blink of an eye, that was sitting for years, waiting for their few more years they got left to be redeemed by them, collected by them, just gone like that when the pandemic hit, man. 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 60,000. You see what I'm saying? Like that. Like, yeah, like it never was, man. And that's what America sold you. But, when that would come, which is through ultimately the Lord, having that sudden death happen through these prophecies, through these many ways he said he would do, which we going into, you know, you know, sudden death and things you completely was invested in and thought would never end would, will play out. That's how you're seeing the sudden death of America. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. You see that? Peace and safety. The peace being pushed, for so long. Peace being pushed for so long. The Lord said, "Wasn't no peace to the wicked. No peace was ever coming." And then after, but all that pushback of people trying to act like they want to have peace and get along, you just see like, trample. That ends the safety. America's making people believe they're safe, and then the Afghanistan situation happened. At the airport in Kabul. America couldn't defend itself. You see what I'm saying? They lost Marine like that. America is no longer safe. The place that was the bully of the earth, is no longer able to do that. You're trying to get the hell out of Dodge. Once again, the sudden death of America, man. This is 2nd Ezra 9, and how is this happening? It says 2nd Ezra 9, and I'm gonna start at verse 2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. See? There it is. So it's the Lord that's doing this, man. But he will have a process of how he will meet this feat. Jeremiah 1:10. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out, and to pull down, and to destroy. See that? And America is the kingdom that he has his eye set upon. And this kingdom is said to die suddenly, man. It says, and to destroy, and to throw down. Look, and to build, to build and to plant. All right. See, I have this day set thee over the nations. This is one of the ways and mechanisms he will use to accomplish this feat over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out. See, going back into the sudden death. You go back to what? 2nd Ezra 5:3. And the land that thou seest now to have root shalt thou see wasted suddenly. It's like when you think of a plant. 1 minute you got a plant, 1 minute the plant good, and you look up the next day, it's just completely messed up and just out of nowhere, it's blighted and there's spots all over. Well, like that, and then day by day, and it was just healthy. But you started to see it day by day. It's spotty, it's blemished. The leaves withering. It looks sick, it looked nasty, it's soggy. Well, that's due to the root being hit, man. You see what I'm saying? That's all able to be suddenly like that when the root is being hit, when the root is infected. So this is, the Lord said he would hit America's roots. And then just like a plant, when the root is infected, when the root is damaged, that's when you will just out of nowhere, just suddenly see what was once life and lively, just brought to naught, no more, like that, suddenly. And that's the same, that's the same situation we see, America in. 1 minute you look up and go another blight, just suddenly. Spots, it's like when you wake up in the morning, you got a bump on your face suddenly. You see what I'm saying? So this wouldn't be happening if the Lord wasn't actually fulfilling these words. You see, 2nd Ezra 5:3, in the land that thou seest now to have root shalt thou see wasted suddenly. Once again, this land. How? Through this process. Jeremiah 1:10. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out. You see, to root out. Through the men being set up, man. First, everybody believe your lies, and now ain't nobody buying it no more. Suddenly. First, everybody thinks so-called black people. There ain't nobody buying it suddenly. First, everybody think that you could just do what you want, or America gonna go forever, and nobody really buying that no more. Suddenly, how through the men that's been set up, and that suddenly goes back into what that root being hit. You know what I'm saying? That's how we know this is happening. The sudden death of America, man. We move on. For Psalms, let me see. You know, but is it? But is it? Yeah, let me read this. Psalms 52:5. The Most High shall likewise destroy thee forever. Yeah, see? And it says, He shall take thee away. He shall take thee away like death. See that? And pluck thee out of thy dwelling. Look, there it is again. And pluck thee out of thy dwelling place. Once again, if I pluck a plant up from the root, I hurt the root. It don't matter how it just looked and how healthy it just was. It's going to suddenly, be affected, like completely. Which will be proven to you when you see the effects. You see? But anyway, it says, and root thee out of the land. You see, and root thee out of the land of the living. It's a lot. All right. Now, is it us that's doing this? Is it just this is really the Most High that's doing this, man? Okay. It's Mark 13. Because how do we know that? We're gonna go to Mark 13, in the 13th chapter, and real quick, we're gonna go to the 34th verse, 32nd verse. It says, but of that day and that hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven. Yo, and this place completely out of here. Because right now, America is suddenly has completely died. Right now, America is suddenly dying. America is suddenly sick. You see what I'm saying? Like cancer has hit this place. 1 minute I was real weighty, the next minute, like that, you lost 60 pounds, man, 70 pounds. See that? But it says, but of that day and that hour. So this to boost our faith, because we seeing this. All the man is set up, the thing set up to perpetuate wickedness to us and oppress us. You got to deal with these people trying to own everything. You got to pretty much deal with, you got to pay to fish, man. You got to have a license for fishing. You got to pay for water. You know what I'm saying? You own your vehicle. You still got to have it registered. Basically, you give them ownership to your vehicle, man. If it's my vehicle, why do I have to why would if I own this vehicle, why would I put a plate, right? Why would I put something on it that I don't own, which would be the state? You see what I'm saying? And then you have to get this sticker. Like, is that to just keep the process of you, but basically, you sign an ownership over without even going into all that. Because you don't own the state. So why would you put anything you don't own on that thing you own? See that? Because Esau has set up a situation where he's stealing from you, but he has cloaked it to where when he want to steal it, and he can come take it, it doesn't look like that. You see what I'm saying? Because they can't take something openly that their name isn't on. See that? That's how you know that's how you know. See? But anyway, Mark 13 and 32. But of that day and that hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. See, now listen, for the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants, going back into the ones he has set up to root up and pluck down and plant, by bringing his word out. You see, to cause sudden death, to cause sudden change of hearts, to cause sudden uprising, certain awake, ones being possessed no more, people being possessed to suddenly all of a sudden not be possessed. You see, through hints, them thinking they black, Mexican or something like that, or Indian, and them no longer buying that, man, like that. For years though, it's just out of just off of what 5 minutes in a video, your whole everything has changed, man. And there goes America's citizens. Once again, the sudden death of America, man. See that? It says, so those that's waiting for America to perish and believe in this doctrine, where you getting your proof, man? You see what I'm saying? This place on its way out of here. And remember, it said it was not only set up to root out, but to also build and to plant what? Us, the kingdom, our world, righteousness, rooting up wickedness, doing things we need to do to make America suddenly die. Lord has fucking poisoned this place, man. But anyway, excuse my language, Mark 13 and 34, it says, continue, and gave authority to his servants. You see, and every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, at even or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly. You see, lest coming suddenly, he findeth you sleeping. See that? The Lord, this is how we know it's the Lord actually doing this. You see? This is how we know. This is how we know you're being blemished and the Lord is actually fulfilling his word, man. You see? Because, yeah, if my plan is good and then out of nowhere, a couple days later, it's blighted, suddenly, out of nowhere, that's an indication the root has been hit. Well, that's how the Lord said he would do America. He's going to hit the root. And then eventually you will see what? Spots all over America. America willowing, old institutions, like I said, set up certain systems in it, mindsets, all of that, man. Those is blemishes and the equivalent of blemishes and willowing, blight. You see what I'm saying? Proof that he's fulfilling his word, that root is being hit. And he said, once that happens, suddenly the land is going to be wasted. Well, we know it's the Lord that has these sudden blights and willowing and all of this taking place, because why? He's what? He says, watch ye therefore, Mark 13 and 35, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, or at even, it's like at even or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly, lest coming suddenly, he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch, he gonna come suddenly. Now, when you go into that word suddenly, unexpected. See that? The sudden death of America. And then when you get it in the Google, it tell you the same thing.
Sudden.
See? Because these people don't want to believe this. That's why it's going to be unexpected. It ain't that because they didn't get told. It wasn't because it wasn't being foreseen, None of that. The reason being, well, when you go to Psalms in the 49th chapter, in the 11th verse, it says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places, see that? To all generations. They call their names after their lands after their own names. See that? Come on, nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not. He is like to be a man being, he said, nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not. That don't, just because you think that don't mean you ain't gonna die. Just because you think, you're gonna keep living, it doesn't mean that. Just because you think you can have 9 heart transplants, that don't mean you're gonna live, man. See, And they think that because they're in honor. That's what it's talking about, so-called white man. Nevertheless, man being in honor about it not. He is like the beast that perish. You see? See that? No one is not going, they're not going to live forever. This, their way is their folly. Yeah. Yet their posterity approve their sayings. You see that? Man. See? So I got one more real quick. Isaiah 59. Excuse me. Isaiah 52 and 15. It says, so shall he sprinkle many nations. The kings shall shut their mouths at him. You see, for that which had not been told them shall they see, and that which they had not heard shall they consider. So they just wasn't trying to expect the Lord. They was in denial. You see, so this is why I say what unexpected. Sudden means unexpected, sudden, unforeseen, because no one is expecting the Lord to come back, man. You see what I'm saying? No one's expecting, your plant. You're not expecting your plant to wake up and have blemish. You see what I'm saying? But just off the very fact that you may wake up and just off the very fact that you wake up and still see that blight and that blemish, that's a fact that suddenness has happened, man. And who is that? Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bash Shah, meaning what he has kept his word, man. See, the minute you see blight, so that's the first indication the Lord has kept his word and is keeping it, and this place is slowly dying, and it's gonna be suddenly dead, man. You see that? So that's all we need, man. See, Mark 18 and Slakia, Revelation 18 and 8. Therefore shall her plagues, Slakia, Mark 18 and 17. For in 1 hour, so great riches is come to naught. See that? And this is exactly how we know that's the suddenness, man. Gas, the Lord is going to hit this place. He's going to kill this place. The sudden death of happening to America is seen in all the sudden changes of things that once were no longer being. For instance, he's going to hit this place and kill this place in many different ways, financially, spiritually, mentally, you know what I'm saying? And through his citizens. He's killing all Esau's influences, even though Esau's, sacrificing a lot of them, but the Lord putting the spirit, upon him. It's like snakes biting themselves. You see what I'm saying? But case in point, gas. Gas is, the most has ever been at this point. You see what I'm saying? Pieces of meat, inflation. You see? And that causes what? The dollar to be no more, man. And if the dollar is no more, there goes America, because the dollar is the number one, traded currency on the face of the earth. See that? But there goes the end of the dollar, and obviously the introduction of the mark of the beast. But once again, that's all indication of a sudden death, man. See that? For Revelation 18 and 17, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster, the stores used to be filled. The stores used to, ships used to come in continuously with no problems. Now they stuck in sea. The sudden death of America. You see that? America's suddenly sick because it's a sudden death taking place, man. All praise to Yahweh Shah. It says, and all the company and ships and sailors and as many as stood and as many as trade by sea stood afar off. Now that's going into where America's hit by the nukes. You see what I'm saying? That's not dealing with that. Like that's not a scripture for what's happening with that. That has nothing to do with that. All right. That's dealing with when America's ultimately suddenly gone completely and the nukes is hit. And you're gonna have, because you got a bunch of countries overseas that trade with America. And that's the end all be all right there. America's gonna be suddenly hit, you know, when millions of nukes is shot over here, and a place that was completely rooted is wasted, man. That's why the Lord said He created the waster to destroy. So don't get that misconstrued like I'm saying that, teaching that. Nah, that's not what I'm saying. All right. But yeah, those people that will trade with America will also see the sudden death of America. And we see it and know it's about to happen because nukes are made. So with that, I'm gonna give our honor, praise, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. Shalom.